Hey you guys, and welcome back to Vache's Closet. Thank you for tuning in with me today. Please hit the subscribe button. I appreciate everyone who has been watching my videos, been following me on my boutique. Any love is much appreciated. I have definitely been going through a lot these last, I'm just saying this last 2 months with honestly my back. I am 28 years old and I have back problems. Really bad back problems. And literally my back goes out once a month for like a whole week. I can't walk. I can't move. I'm actually going through that right now as we speak. While I'm doing this video, I am in so much excruciating pain due to my back problems, and no one has been able to figure out what's going on. But I'm going to tell you exactly how I came about these back problems. And I hope I don't scare anyone with this video, but I do want people to know the risk of epidurals. Women, mothers need to know the risk of epidural. I've had 4 children vaginally. Out of 3 children, I've had good experiences with epidural. I don't know if it's a good experience, feeling numb and not being able to feel anything is not really a good experience, but it helps the pain go away. But for my 4th child, which was my daughter, she had to make it difficult when she came into this world. She blew my back out. Literally blew it out of socket. The anesthesiologist messed up my epidural, and I am reaping the amazing benefits of a messed up epidural. You know when you get an epidural and they tell you not to move? Don't move. That's where I messed up at. It's not even where I messed up at. It's where the nurses and the anesthesiologists messed up at, because they were not doing their jobs when they inserted the needle into my back at the time of, when I was giving birth to my daughter. He basically was in a rush because I was dilating very fast, and he put the needle in my back without letting me know and not telling me to move. And as soon as he put the needle in my back, I jumped up. And you're not supposed to move when you get an epidural because you can become paralyzed. So I jumped up, and he's like, whoa, don't move. And I'm like, whoa, bro, you're not even doing it right. Where's the nurse that's supposed to be assisting you? There was no nurse there that was supposed to be assisting. That was going to be assisting him. There's supposed to be a nurse that stands in front of you to hold you, to make sure you don't move. There was no nurse there to help me. It was just me and this dude sticking his needle in my back. So then he sticks the needle in my back. He does it wrong. Okay. Only one side of my body was numb, literally for about an hour. And then once that hour wore off, Miss Diva was ready to come into this world. So basically, it was no point of me to get the epidural because I did not. It didn't help. It didn't help. I felt everything. I felt her head, her shoulders. I felt it all. So after that, after everything wore off, my back started hurting, and I'm like letting my husband know, like, I really think the epidural really messed up my back. I don't think, this is gonna be a good look after the fact I get out the hospital, and I was really contemplating. I even did a complaint with the hospital and contemplating on suing, because now, my daughter is a little bit over a year old, and I'm still having back issues. Literally where I can't walk, I can't bend over, I can't turn, and it comes and it goes. It comes and it goes. But even when my back goes out, when I do have my back and it's cool, the shit still hurts. Like where they put the needle in my spinal cord, like it's literally, you can touch it and it's so sensitive, really sensitive. So I'm telling you guys, ladies, mothers, if you're getting an epidural, you make sure that anesthesiologist has some help in there. You make sure he goes over everything and the paperwork with you, okay? You make sure that he is doing everything he's supposed to be doing, him and the nurses and your doctor, because a lot of people, they look at your insurance when you go to these hospitals, and that's how they treat you. They treat you based off your insurance, which is sad, because let me tell you this. My first son, I had my mother's insurance. So I had really, really, really great insurance. And when I was trying to vaginally give birth to him, they were really insistent on giving me a C-section because they made more money on C-sections. If you guys didn't know, a lot of y'all had or are having C-sections just because the insurance money pays more money for C-sections, not because your baby really needs to come out C-section. No, you can vaginally give birth to your baby even if your baby has low blood pressure or a low heartbeat. Like, you can still vaginally give birth to your baby. You don't have to automatically go to a C-section. So you guys listen up for that. A lot of people get C-sections because the insurance companies pay the most for C-sections, especially if you have good insurance. So for my first son, they were really, really trying to give me a C-section because my mom had great insurance. And luckily my mom was there, and she was like, no, she can get vaginal. You're not going to run up my insurance, just for their liking. Okay, so remember that. Sometimes they are going to suggest a C-section. Just one. They get more money, and it's easier. It's easier to cut y'all open. It is. It's more work and more monitoring to actually vaginally give birth to your children, okay? They get paid more for a C-section. Remember that, y'all. Remember that. I had all my kids vaginally. I've had a couple of my kids' heartbeats, rhythm drop during contractions. I've had my blood pressure drop, their blood pressure drop. I still vaginally gave birth to them, and they're vaginally okay. So definitely, if you are pregnant, don't let your doctor talk you into anything you don't want to do or you don't think is okay for your newborn, okay? And epidural wise, make sure they are doing it right, or you will live with a messed up back like me. I am going through x-rays and MRIs right now, and my goal was to get back into track and field. My goal was to dance. Like, there were so many active things that I wanted to do just to show my children, that mommy is still active. But now I'm stuck, because every time I do something, I have to make sure I'm thinking of my back. Why do I need to think about my back at 28 years old? Because the anesthesiologist was too lazy or didn't give a fuck about me because I was an African American. So he kind of nonchalantly just gave me an epidural that just fucked up my back for the rest of my life. So I really hope you guys listen to this testimony. Like, for real, for real, for real. Make sure you are doing the right thing for your body. And honestly, I personally would say, don't get an epidural. It works, and it worked for me, but it didn't work for me. And you don't want to be that 1% or that 5% or that 10% like me that gets fucked over by an epidural, you guys. So please, please, this is my personal message to y'all mothers and women out there who's going to be having babies and who are pregnant now. Make sure they take care of you. Because once you go in there and have a baby, everybody's worried about the baby. They're worried about the baby. But we as women are giving birth to these babies. We need to be taken care of as well. No matter what insurance you have, no matter what race you are, okay? So thank you guys for tuning in to Vashay's Closet. I will see you guys next time.